All right, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've made literally any content. I've been lacking, but that will change starting literally today, which this video is going to be adding on to kind of like the strategy concept series type thing. It's just going to be all about breaker blocks. So literally how to take an entry outfit, like kind of a unicorn model type thing, and just like how to spot them easily, kind of learn what it is and how to use it, right? So let's get right into that. I'm going to stop yapping right now. All right, boys, before I show you on the charts what a breaker block would look like and how to spot it, how to use it, whatever, I'm going to mark kind of like a little drawing what you want to see for a breaker block to get formed and, kind of generally what it looks like. But I do want to say there's one main thing with breakers that you really want to look at them as, and that is going to be looking at them like order blocks, using them like order blocks, because it's going to mark out the exact same area as an order block anyways. It's pretty much just preference on which one you'd rather use. Some people like to use breakers, some people use order blocks, some people use both. Like if for me, if a breaker block is more obvious, I'll use that one, right? But here's how you would spot it, right? You want to see a order block first. You need an order block because a breaker block is going to be a failed order block. So let's say we're in a downtrend in the first scenario here. This would be a bullish breaker, but as of now, we're in the downtrend. And then bang, we put this nice order block in here. As you can see, we close below this low after we kind of manipulate it up here, which validates this as an order block. So we should, maybe go back up here and respect it, move it lower. But in this case, we ran right through that order block like it doesn't exist, right? So this order block right here, bang, ran right through it like it doesn't exist. So this area that was the order block is now our breaker block. I hope that makes sense. It's literally the exact same spot. It's the order block that failed. So now it's kind of like an inverse. If you trade inverse for value gaps, it's the same idea. You want to see it like get retraced into the inverse, or in this case, the breaker block, the inverse order block, whatever the fuck you call it. And now we should go higher, right? So that would be a bearish example and then a bullish one. Same thing, vice versa. We're going to be in a bearish one, sorry. This would be a bearish example. That one's a bullish one. Got those mixed up, but bang, we're in an uptrend. Put in this nice order block here. And now, once we run right through it like it doesn't exist, did not respect it whatsoever, we'd retrace back up into that area and then move lower in a perfect scenario. So bang, there is your bearish breaker block, and this is your bullish breaker block. So really the one way to look at it, it's just a failed order block, right? It's a failed order block as in it got ran right through, and then we retrace into it and respect it as kind of an inverse order block or a breaker block. Same exact thing. So now that we have that out of the way, let's just find on the charts because this is a very easy concept to grasp. Okay, so here is a pretty good example. Now, first thing we want to look at, where are we trending and what are we respecting? So we can see we put in this nice bearish leg, and then we got this retrace right here, and then close below that retrace. So now this area right here is kind of our order block, like in this general area. This would be our order block. So what do we do for a bit? We respect the order block. We just push up into it, kind of wick around for a while, just not really doing anything, not picking a direction. And then we end up running through that order block with this nice clean move, right? We want to see a clean move, which now validates this as kind of a failed order block, or now it's a breaker block, right? So what can we see now? It kind of gets respected like inversely now. So as it was respecting here, it's now going to retrace back into that same area and now respect it as a breaker block. So as you can see, from that point on, we retrace in, move higher. Bang. So that is a good example of a bullish breaker block, breaking trend, and then, retracing in, moving back up. And this is also like a very fractal thing. So if you want to do this on like lower time frame retraces, it's going to work just as well, right? It's a good entry model on a lower time frame retrace. And I'll also get into the unicorn model type deal. I don't really trade it myself, but it is kind of good to know because it is higher probability for breaker blocks. But that will be later on. Let's find a bearish example. Here is a good example. It's not like the exact same thing, but technically it is a breaker block, but it would kind of be on the higher time frame. Let me get up on the 5 here. Right here, what do we have? We have this nice bullish or bearish order block, right? Bang, we move up, close below this last move up, kind of changing trends. Now this area should be our order block, and then we do end up pushing all the way back down here, and then running right through this order block like it doesn't exist, right? Literally no reaction on this 5-minute, and then we come back into the zone and respect it a little bit. We didn't actually, hold it, but that's because it's not in line with, higher time frame trend, as you can see. So again, just like everything else, every other concept, you have to align it with trend. You can't just expect these to work every time. So that's an example of it not working, and also an example of a good, 5-minute breaker block, right? This kind of does look like support and resistance, and that's because it is support and resistance. It's the same shit, just with ICT concepts. So maybe I'll find a couple more, and then I'll give you the unicorn model, and then we'll call it, because these are pretty easy to understand. Okay, here's a little example of a breaker block, right? So we did shift into an uptrend right here, as you can see, on the lower time frame. So little downtrend, and then bang, we close above this last like down close candles right here. So this should be a bullish order block right here. And then what do we do when we retrace into this order block that we made? So we have this right now, bang, 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 bang. We do this. Are we going to respect this? No, we do this. So now this area would be our breaker block. That's what you're seeing right here. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we retrace up into it. Bang, bang, move lower, as you can see. And the candles that are going to make your breaker block are always going to be in line with what you want it to be, right? So a bearish breaker is always going to be bearish candles. If you're marking this is an order block. That is not a breaker block. But as you can see, like I said in the beginning, they work the exact same way. They're literally in the exact same spot. Just the order block extends a little higher here. So it's really just preference on which one you want to use. So that would be another bearish breaker block. Let me get one more bullish example. All right, so here is a good bullish example. What do we have right here? We have this bearish order block because we do shift into a little uptrend here and then instantly close below that last series of, up candles. So if you don't understand order blocks, by the way, also make sure you watch my last video on changing the state and order blocks, and you will understand what I'm talking about a lot more here. I'm just assuming you already know that, but now we have this nice bearish order block, and when we retrace in this order block, looking to see lower, we don't actually get that. We run right through it like it doesn't exist. So now we should respect this as a breaker block in a perfect world, and bang, we retrace into it, respect it, never close inside of it, looking very nice to go higher. Bang, bang, bang. So that would be what a breaker block is. Now, what kind of would be a unicorn entry or, a higher probability entry to trade breakers? And I just realized I'm on the 12-minute. That's actually hella goofy. I don't know why I'm on the 12-minute. But again, that just goes to show they work on every time frame, bro. Every time frame. 12 minutes actually crazy though. Let's look at a unicorn model now. And we actually did have that unicorn model over here that I saw. Actually, no, I see one right here. Let's use this one. So, guys, when you have a breaker like this, right, we put in this nice bearish order block, right? This last up close candle, then we, close with some nice displacement. We make a gap right here, and then we run right through this order block and breaker. Order block and gap, like it just doesn't exist. This would be our breaker now. But what makes a breaker even better is when we have a fair value gap paired up with that breaker. So right here, we have this breaker block, and we also have this fair value gap, and that would be called a unicorn entry. So if you have this in line with trend, you can catch a pretty nice trade off of something like this. You're waiting for that retrace into the fair value gap and breaker. They should be aligned, and then a reaction out of it. Right here, we get a little reaction. You would take something like this, targeting, a high like that. So bang, that's a good way to trade breakers right there. You could literally make an entire model off of this. It's not what I trade, but when you have something clear like this, this is a nice displacing gap and a nice breaker block. That's pretty obvious, right? So this would be a pretty good example of that. And then I think we have a bearish one literally right here. It's not that clean. Let's not use that one. All right, so we have a pretty decent example of a unicorn model here. It's not the cleanest thing in the world. It's pretty late in the day to take a trade like this, but this is technically a unicorn model. You know, maybe it's not aligned with trend or whatever. It's not that clean, but it's there. And if you can't see it already, here's what we do, right? We make this nice uptrend. We put in this bullish order block, right? Close above this last down close candle with some nice displacing candles. We make a gap right here. So we have a gap that's bullish and a bullish order block. And then what do we do to these two? Well, we run right through them like it doesn't exist. And we have a gap in the opposite direction now. So this is our breaker block right here. And now we have this order block, no, sorry, a fair value gap right here as well. So we retrace up into that and bang, you would take it lower once we get a reaction out of it. So you'd probably take this first reaction and then your stop would be at the high or at the recent order block right here. Bang, something like that. And target, you know, this low right here or this low right here. That would be a decent trade, in my opinion. It's not too bad. But yeah, that is going to be the breaker block and unicorn model. Hopefully that helps you understand what that is. And if you're not understanding already, watch the fair value gap video. Literally watch all my past videos that I made on concepts. They should explain it pretty good. And I will be updating this a lot in the future here, in the coming weeks. I have not been uploading a lot on YouTube recently, but that will change here very, very soon. I promise you. Plus, school ending soon, so I can actually lock the fuck in on this content and get you guys set. But hopefully it helped you guys, and let me know down in the comments what you want to see next. If you want to see anything next, let me know down below. I will actually make that video, because bro, I ain't got shit to do, bro. I'm unemployed. So drop those below and join the Discord. It will be down below as well. I need like 2 members to get to 200 in that server so I can clip farm it. But appreciate you guys and see you in the next one.